maybe screams. That it was conquered by Spain, its people cast aside while the land was raped? No. That it became a so-called banana republic, a los norteamericanos who looked down their noses, perched atop man-made borders? No. That the CIA helped to overthrow the government and dismantle the country, effectively sending them back to the 1500s once and again forever? No. That over 200,000 people were killed over a 30-year civil war that the USA helped to wage, only to leave it as one of the most violent countries in the world, with nothing more than an apology? No. They teach none of this. No one speaks of Guatemala, except to say, isn't that where all those gangs are from? God, what a shithole. And a hole in the world opens up and sucks all the apathy down inside of itself. Some might call it a rabbit hole, others a wishing well, but down we go and see how far this disease from America travels. And the title of the poem is called For Alma, Hell is a Place on Earth. Hell is a place on earth sometimes, and we all get what we deserve in the end. Alma, a woman's name, daughter, sister, mother, almost, a descendant of the Maya. Her name means the soul, though I am sure she lacks exactly that much if such a thing even exists. And I know she knows this because Alma murdered people in cold blood. She helped rape and torture others just like herself. She did these vile things in the name of love. Huh? But how can that be? El amor? How can love draw so much blood? Because in los Estados Unidos there is enough love to go around and then some. In America we export a twisted version of amor, wholesale, to any third world hellhole that will buy it. Like so many Happy Meals and armor-piercing bullets, the love of yourself, the love of your barrio, the love of your block, your city, your state, your nation. Love, American style. We love our guns and our gods. We love our football and our fast food, our fast women and faster talking politicians. And we love ourselves to death, for it's our national pastime, this LOVE. This culture of destruction that we gift our neighbors with time and again. Neighbors just like Alma, like so many other women in their own versions of hell, seeking that which they wish to escape. Blood in, blood out. Love in, love out. Survival of the fittest, the ones with the most heart, putting in work, punching the clock, vying for the love of blood-stained streets and homies in shallow graves. A history of violence cradled Alma from birth to the death of her soul, her stillborn child, and beyond, because she chose to be like the men who abused her rather than be victimized by them. Alma chose love. America sends another love letter out to sea, messaged in a jagged bottle, knowing that some small child somewhere, someone just like Alma, will find it on the sand, read it, and take the instructions to heart. Right after she carves out the corazon of those who would do her harm. But before anyone can point any fingers at Alma, or any of these daughters and sons of blood, you must first understand that this is all a product of American ingenuity. All of it. It is our gross domestic product, and we excel at manufacturing it, packaging it, distributing it, marketing it, and consuming it. Wholesale death. The tattoos, the slang, the apathy, the penchant for extreme violence, the self-loathing, and of course the love. We birthed this. Rather, this is a mass-produced product of what some would call a comedy, others a tragedy depending on political affiliations, both of which are gangs in their own respect, and both of whom claim to love their constituents. During the late 90s, the Clinton administration deported countless Guatemalan refugees. Tens of thousands of desperate people who fled from a country of death and decades of war, where all they found was an instruction manual on how to hate yourself and kill people in 10 easy lessons. What do you think they brought back home with them from America, the land of grape and honey? After we schooled them and sent them off, what were their souvenirs, their trinkets? All you need to do is listen to Alma's story to find out, because she will whisper dark love songs in your fat ears while you close your eyes and she slits your neck again. People like to remember the Clinton administration for blowjobs and saxophones. condom-covered cigar tubes and toothy smiles, the greatest economy and all that whitewashed Kenny G jazz, and so much love. But he should be remembered for other things, like NAFTA and the fleecing of America, the new genocide on the Third World, and the invention of people like Alma. Precious Alma with her deep eyes, which you could drown inside of from falling into a tunnel of death and love. Alma, who sheds tears for her victims, yet she knows carries hell with her in every space she dwells. Alma, a victim since day one, but also a patron saint of killers and of women who choose the sword in the name of amor. Talking heads and demagogues will point to her with scorn, with their blood-dipped fingers, to these so-called slums with disgust, clucking their tongues, saying, "See, we must keep this kind from entering America. Abandon all hope, ye immigrants who enter here. We must prevent them from poisoning our soil and spreading their seed. We must exterminate them and all those like them. We must build a wall, and then a wall on top of that wall, because we have to be sure. Death to all who oppose us." And their nationalism runs cold through the veins of killers and murderers, because these same people, these bloodlusters and people hustlers, either do not know, nor do they care that it is their own self-preservation, their own waste, their own cognitive dissonance, their own treachery, their own hatred, their own policies, their own cracked mirrors that have created Alma. No one wants to remember these things. They all just want to point fingers or bury their heads in the sand and giggle. We can all watch the same film and hear Alma's story. We can listen as she describes her nightmares. We can empathize, maybe, or turn away in disgust. But what we can never do is forget that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. We reap what we sow, and we have sown so much hatred and violence worldwide that we could submerge the earth in blood by now were it not for modern plumbing. All of our hate, all of our rage, all of our lies, all of our loathing, all of our treachery, all of our thievery, all of our neglect, all of our disbelief, all of our pride, it all goes down the drain, and we never think of it again, ever. But it should be no surprise then that these same gutters eventually come to an end and empty themselves out into something else. And we have been ignoring our sewage for far too long. So do not pity Alma. Hers is but another wretched and warped story from the red, white, and blue. America, with 3 Ks. She has her scars and her burdens, and she will carry them to her grave. But you should pity yourself and me and everyone around you who make excuses or simply ignore the conditions that create people like Alma. For she is us, and we are her. And there is so much blood on all of our hands, and it never washes off.